The brownstone mansion sits in the heart of Boston's Beacon Hill, like a fortress made of old money and older secrets. 3 stories of red brick and black shutters, iron gates that cost more than most people earn in a year, security cameras that track every shadow on the street. Inside, Sophia Chen moves through the 3rd-floor hallway with practiced silence, her cleaning cart wheels barely whispering against hardwood floors that gleam like dark honey. At 26, she's learned that invisibility is a survival skill. Keep your head down. Do your work. Don't ask questions about the men in expensive suits who come and go at odd hours, speaking in low voices about shipments and territories and problems that need solving. She's been working for the Konstantin family for exactly 11 days. The pay is extraordinary, 4 times what she made at the hotel downtown. The work is straightforward. Keep the private floors immaculate. Maintain discretion. Pretend you don't notice the tension that hangs in the air like expensive cologne and gunpowder. But there's something else in this house. Something that makes Sophia's chest ache every time she passes the nursery at the end of the hall. Crying. Not the normal fussy sounds of a toddler. This is different, desperate, heartbroken, the kind of crying that speaks of a pain too big for a small body to contain. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Sophia pauses outside the nursery door, her hand hovering over the handle. She shouldn't. The head of household, Mrs. Volkov, had been crystal clear during orientation. You clean Mr. Konstantin's study, his bedroom, and the hallways. You do not enter the child's room. We have nannies for that. You do not speak to Mr. Konstantin unless he addresses you first. You do not involve yourself in family matters. Understood? But the crying continues, and Sophia hears something underneath it that makes her grandmother's voice echo in her memory. Some children cry because they want something. Some cry because they need something. And some cry because their soul is searching for something they've lost. You'll know the difference when you hear it, Babowo. And when you do, you have to answer. Sophia's grandmother had raised her in San Francisco's Chinatown, after her parents died in a car accident when she was 8. Mama Chen had been a woman of deep faith and deeper wisdom, teaching Sophia Mandarin lullabies and Buddhist prayers, how to fold wonton and how to recognize when someone was drowning in grief even if they couldn't name it. The crying intensifies. Sophia makes her decision. She pushes the door open. The nursery is beautiful in that careful, expensive way that speaks of interior designers rather than loving hands. Soft gray walls, white furniture with subtle gold accents, a chandelier that casts gentle light across imported rugs and shelves lined with toys that look too perfect to have been played with. In the center of the room, a little girl stands in her crib, her small hands gripping the rails. She can't be more than 2 years old. Her dark hair is tangled, her face blotchy and red, tears streaming down her cheeks. She's wearing pink pajamas with cartoon rabbits on them, and she's screaming like her heart is breaking. "Where's your nanny?" Sophia whispers, looking around the empty room. The baby monitor sits on the dresser, its green light glowing. Someone should be listening. Someone should have come. The little girl's eyes lock onto Sophia's face, and something shifts. The screaming stops abruptly, replaced by hiccuping sobs. She reaches out her small arms with desperate urgency. Sophia shouldn't pick her up. This isn't her job. This crosses every boundary Mrs. Volkov established. But those reaching arms, that pleading expression, Sophia's body moves before her mind can stop it. She crosses to the crib and lifts the little girl into her arms. The child is burning up with fever, her small body trembling. She immediately buries her face in Sophia's shoulder, her tiny fists clutching Sophia's shirt with surprising strength. "Oh, sweetheart." Sophia breathes, feeling the unnatural heat radiating from the little girl's skin. "You're sick. Where is everyone?" She carries the child to the rocking chair by the window, settling in and cradling her close. The little girl's crying has quieted to whimpers now, but her breathing is rapid and shallow, her forehead slick with sweat. Sophia should call for help. Should find Mrs. Volkov or one of the nannies, or someone who actually belongs here. But her grandmother's lullabies are already rising in her throat, the Mandarin words flowing out like water from a deep well. "Weliang zai tianshang babio zai wa huai xingxing zai shnishua, aine ying yun bugibian shwiba, wao kinai de shio tianshi." The moon is in the sky, baby in my arms. Stars are shining bright. Love for you will never change. Sleep now, my dear little angel. She rocks gently, one hand supporting the fevered little body, the other stroking the tangled dark hair. The lullaby continues, verse after verse, Songs her grandmother sang to her in the darkness after her parents died, when grief felt like it would swallow her whole. The little girl's breathing begins to even out. Her grip on Sophia's shirt relaxes slightly. Her eyes flutter, heavy with exhaustion. Sophia keeps singing, keeps rocking, keeps pouring every ounce of comfort she possesses into this small stranger who feels, somehow, like she was always meant to be in Sophia's arms. She doesn't hear the door open, doesn't hear the heavy footsteps that stop just inside the threshold, doesn't know that Dmitri Konstantin, the man they call the Winter King of Boston's underworld, has frozen in place, his hand still on the door handle, his breath caught in his throat. Dmitri had been in a meeting with his captains when his phone vibrated. The nanny, Chelsea, her third this month, had texted her resignation effective immediately. No explanation, no notice, just, "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." He'd excused himself from the meeting, rage and fear warring in his chest. Katya had been crying for 6 hours straight before Chelsea arrived this morning. The pediatrician found nothing wrong. The specialists were baffled. His daughter was healthy by every medical measure, but she cried like she was in agony, and no one could soothe her. Nothing except, he'd stopped thinking about that. About her. About Irina. Dmitri had taken the stairs 2 at a time, preparing himself for the sound of Katya's screams, for the sight of his daughter in distress, for the familiar helplessness that carved pieces out of his soul every single day. But when he pushed open the nursery door, he found silence. No, not silence. Singing. A woman he doesn't recognize sits in the rocking chair by the window, his daughter cradled against her chest. The woman is young, Asian, her long black hair pulled back in a simple ponytail. She's wearing the standard housekeeping uniform, black pants, white blouse, but there's nothing standard about the way she holds Katya. Like the child is precious, like every note of the lullaby matters. The language is Mandarin, he thinks, though he doesn't speak it. The melody is haunting, beautiful, filled with a tenderness that makes something crack open in his chest. And Katya, his daughter, who hasn't slept more than 2 hours at a stretch in weeks, is peaceful. Her eyes are closed, her breathing deep and even, her small hand resting over the woman's heart. Dmitri's gun hand, which had instinctively moved toward his shoulder holster when he saw a stranger holding his child, falls to his side. He can't move, can't speak, can only watch this impossible scene and feel something he thought had died with Irina stir back to life. The woman's voice is lovely, clear and pure, each word of the lullaby delivered with perfect care. She rocks gently, naturally, like she's done this 1,000 times before. Katya shifts slightly in her sleep, making a small, contented sound, and the woman's expression softens further, a small smile touching her lips. Who is she? The question should come with suspicion, with the paranoia that's kept Dmitri alive for 20 years in a business where trust is usually a fatal mistake. But as he watches this stranger sing his daughter to sleep, all he feels is a desperate, terrifying hope. The lullaby comes to an end. The woman hums softly for a few more moments, then falls silent, simply holding Katya and rocking, her eyes closed as if in prayer. Dmitri clears his throat. The woman's eyes snap open, meeting his. They're dark brown, intelligent, and in the moment before wariness sets in, he sees genuine care there. Love, even. For a child she can't possibly know. She starts, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry. I heard her crying, and no one was here, and she was burning up with fever, and I just... Who are you?" The words come out harder than he intends, but he can't help it. This is his daughter, his world, his reason for drawing breath, in the arms of a complete stranger. Sophia Chen. I was hired last week to clean the 3rd floor. I know I shouldn't have come in here, but she was alone and sick, and I couldn't just... She stops, swallows, lifts her chin slightly despite the fear he can see flickering in her eyes. I couldn't walk away from a sick child. I don't care what the rules are. Something about her defiance, the way she holds his gaze despite clearly being terrified, makes Dmitri's respect tick upward a notch. He moves into the room, his footsteps careful, and approaches the rocking chair. Sophia tenses but doesn't pull away as he reaches out to touch Katya's forehead. Still warm, but not burning like she was this morning. Her color is better too, her breathing steady. "She had a fever?" he asks, his voice rough. "Yes, high one I think, and she was crying so hard she could barely breathe." Sophia adjusts her hold on Katya slightly, protective. "Has she seen a doctor?" 3 of them. They say nothing's wrong. Dmitri's jaw clenches. But she cries. Every day, every night. Like she's in pain we can't see. Sophia looks down at the sleeping child in her arms, and something flashes across her face. Understanding, maybe. Recognition. Some children cry for their mothers, she says softly. Even if they're too young to remember them. Even if they never really knew them. The soul remembers what the mind forgets. The words hit Dmitri like a physical blow. He takes a step back, his hand instinctively going to his chest as if he can stop the pain radiating there. How did you know? The question comes out broken. Sophia meets his eyes again. I didn't. But I know that kind of crying. I cried like that after my parents died. My grandmother said I was crying for something I couldn't name, for arms that would never hold me again. She pauses. I'm sorry for your loss. For both your losses. Dmitri can't respond. Can't force words past the emotion clogging his throat. Irina has been gone for 18 months. Died 3 days after Katya was born. Complications from the emergency C-section that saved their daughter's life but couldn't save hers. 18 months, and this is the first time his daughter has looked peaceful. What were you singing? He finally manages. A Mandarin lullaby. My grandmother taught it to me. Sophia's hand continues its gentle motion on Katya's back. She said music is the language the soul speaks when words aren't enough. Sing it again. It's not a request. But Sophia doesn't bristle at the command. She simply nods and begins again, her voice soft and sure. Yueliang zai tian shang. Bio bio zai wo huai. Dmitri sinks into the chair across from them, his body suddenly heavy with exhaustion. He watches his daughter sleep truly, deeply sleep for the first time in what feels like forever. Watches this stranger hold her with more natural tenderness than any of the expensive nannies he's hired. Watches, and feels something shift in the carefully constructed walls around his heart. When the lullaby ends this time, Katya stirs but doesn't wake, simply nestling deeper into Sophia's embrace. I need you to stay, Dmitri says abruptly. Sophia blinks. I what? Not as a housekeeper. As Katya's nanny. He leans forward, his elbows on his knees, his dark eyes intense on hers. Name your price. Whatever you need. Just stay. Help her. She needs you. Mr. Konstantin, I'm not qualified. I don't have any childcare training or... You got my daughter to stop crying for the first time in 6 months. You're the most qualified person I've ever met. His voice roughens. Please, I'm begging you. Stay. Sophia looks down at Katya, conflict clear on her face. Dmitri can see the war happening behind her eyes. Responsibility, fear, that same pull toward his daughter that he doesn't understand but can't deny. I have a sister, Sophia finally says, in San Francisco. She has medical bills, student loans. I send her everything I can spare, but it's never enough. I'll pay off her debts, all of them. Dmitri doesn't hesitate. Give me the details and they'll be handled by the end of the week. Your salary will be triple what the other nannies made. Your own suite in the family wing. Anything you need. Just please. His voice breaks. Please don't let my daughter cry like that anymore. Sophia studies him for a long moment. Dmitri lets her look. Lets her see the desperation and exhaustion and fear that he usually keeps hidden behind the cold mask of the Winter King. Okay, she whispers. I'll stay. For her. Relief crashes through Dmitri so hard he has to close his eyes. Thank you. But I need to know. Sophia hesitates. I need to know what you do. What kind of house this is. Because I've seen the guards, the security, the men in suits. I'm not stupid. Dmitri opens his eyes, meeting hers steadily. I run an organization. Some of what we do is legal. Much of it isn't. I have enemies who would use anyone close to me as leverage. If you stay, if you become important to Katya, that makes you a target too. Will you protect her? Sophia asks. Katya, will you keep her safe no matter what? With my last breath. Then I'll trust you to do the same for me. Sophia's expression is fierce, despite her gentle hold on the sleeping child. But if you ever put her in danger, if you ever let your business come before her safety, I will take her and run so far you'll never find us. Are we clear? The threat should make Dmitri angry. Instead, it makes him want to smile for the first time in months. Crystal clear. Good. Sophia looks down at Katya again. She's going to need medicine for this fever. Do you have infant acetaminophen? I'll have someone bring it. Dmitri pulls out his phone, but before he can dial, Sophia speaks again. Mr. Konstantin. Dmitri. Call me Dmitri. She nods slowly. Dmitri. Your wife, Katya's mother. What was her name? The question lodges in his throat like broken glass. He hasn't said Irina's name out loud in months. His father taught him that sentiment was weakness, that dwelling on the dead was a waste of time better spent consolidating power. But looking at Sophia holding his daughter with such tenderness, he finds the words rising anyway. Irina, he says softly. Her name was Irina. Did she sing to Katya? Before she passed? Dmitri's vision blurs. Yes. Russian lullabies. I can still hear them sometimes. In the quiet moments, her voice was beautiful. Sophia's eyes shimmer with unshed tears. Then that's what Katya has been crying for. Her mother's voice, her mother's songs. She pauses. I can't replace that. I would never try to replace that. But maybe I can give her something similar. A voice that sings with love. Arms that hold her with tenderness. Maybe that can help heal what's broken. Dmitri has to look away. Has to blink rapidly against the moisture gathering in his own eyes. In his world, men don't cry, don't show weakness, don't let anyone see the cracks. But this woman who's known his daughter for all of 20 minutes has already seen straight through to the heart of everything he's been trying to hold together alone. Thank you, he manages, for understanding, for foreseeing what she needs. I lost my parents too young, Sophia says quietly. I know what it feels like to search for them in every face, every voice, every moment. To cry for something you can't name because you were too little to remember it clearly. Katya and I, we understand each other. The moment stretches between them, heavy with meaning. Dmitri finds himself noticing details he shouldn't. The way lamplight catches in Sophia's dark hair, the curve of her neck as she looks down at Katya, the strength in her slender arms as she holds his daughter like she's precious cargo. Don't, he warns himself. Don't go there. She's here for Katya, nothing more. But even as he thinks it, he knows it's already too late. Something has shifted, something fundamental and dangerous. This woman has walked into his carefully controlled world and changed everything without even trying. A soft knock at the door breaks the moment. Mrs. Volkov enters, her expression carefully neutral even as her eyes widen slightly at the scene before her. Sir, I apologize. I didn't realize you were... She stops. Is everything all right with Miss Katya? Miss Chen will be taking over as Katya's primary nanny, Dmitri says, his voice returning to its usual cool authority. Effective immediately. Please have her belongings moved to the guest suite next to the nursery. And get me the file on her sister's debts, medical bills, student loans, everything. Mrs. Volkov's eyebrows rise fractionally, but she's too well trained to question. Of course, sir. And the other nannies? Let them go. With severance. Sophia will handle Katya's care from now on. He stands, straightening his suit jacket. Also, call Dr. Morrison. Have him come check Katya's fever. And bring infant acetaminophen. Now. No. Yes, sir. Mrs. Volkov disappears. Dmitri looks back at Sophia, who's watching him with those intelligent, assessing eyes. I have to return to my meeting, he says, but I'll be back to check on her in an hour. If you need anything at all, call Mrs. Volkov. She'll make it happen. Sophia nods. We'll be fine. Dmitri moves to the door, then pauses. Sophia? Yes? He turns to look at her one more time. This woman who's already become essential to his daughter's well-being in the span of 30 minutes. Thank you, he says. For not walking away. For being brave enough to break the rules when it mattered. Sophia's smile is small but genuine. My grandmother used to say that sometimes the most important thing you can do is listen to your heart instead of your head, even when it's scary. Your grandmother sounds like she was a wise woman. She was. I wish you could have met her. I wish I could have too. Then Dmitri forces himself to leave, to walk away from the peaceful scene in the nursery, and return to the world of violence and strategy that pays for everything in this house. But as he descends the stairs, he can still hear Sophia's lullaby echoing in his mind. And for the first time since Irina died, the mansion doesn't feel quite so cold. 3 weeks later, Sophia wakes to the sound of rain against her bedroom window, and the soft babbling of Katya through the baby monitor on her nightstand. She smiles before she even opens her eyes, already reaching for the monitor to check the video feed. Katya is standing in her crib, holding her favorite stuffed rabbit, a gift Dmitri brought back from a business trip to New York, and talking to it in the nonsensical language of toddlers. Her dark curls are wild from sleep, her pink pajamas rumpled, but her face is bright and happy. No tears, no screaming, just a little girl waking up ready to face the day. The transformation has been extraordinary. Within the first week, Katya's constant crying stopped completely. She began sleeping through the night, eating properly, hitting developmental milestones she'd been too distressed to reach before. The pediatrician called it remarkable. The child psychologist called it a breakthrough. Sophia calls it what it is, a little girl who was drowning in grief, finally finding a lifeline. She slips out of bed and pads barefoot to the connecting door between her suite and the nursery. The rooms, Mrs. Volkov showed her that first day had been beautiful. A bedroom with a king-sized bed and silk sheets, a sitting area with plush furniture and a flat-screen TV, a bathroom with a soaking tub and heated floors. Luxury she'd never imagined living in. But Sophia had requested one modification: a door connecting directly to Katya's room. She needed to be able to reach the little girl instantly if she woke frightened or sick. Dmitri had the door installed within 24 hours. Now Sophia pushes it open and steps into the nursery. "Good morning, precious girl." Katya's face lights up. So. It's her version of Sophia's name, and it makes Sophia's heart melt every single time. "Yes, it's so. Did you sleep well?" Sophia lifts Katya from the crib, breathing in that perfect baby smell, clean skin, and lavender baby wash. "Sleep good," Katya declares proudly, then pats Sophia's cheek with her small hand. "Sing? After breakfast, sweet pea. Let's get you changed first." The morning routine has become precious to Sophia, changing Katya's diaper, dressing her in soft cotton clothes, brushing her wild curls while singing silly songs that make her giggle. Simple moments that fill something hollow in Sophia's chest, something that's been empty since her grandmother died 2 years ago. She carries Katya downstairs to the family kitchen, not the industrial one used by the staff, but the smaller, cozier one on the second floor where Dmitri takes his breakfast when he's home. Mrs. Volkov had explained the division. The main kitchen is for entertaining and staff meals. The family kitchen is private, sacred space. Sophia settles Katya in her high chair and begins preparing breakfast. Oatmeal with mashed banana and cinnamon, the way Katya likes it, and scrambled eggs with cheese. She's humming one of her grandmother's lullabies when she hears footsteps behind her. "You're up early." She turns to find Dmitri in the doorway, looking exhausted. He's wearing dress pants and a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up, his tie loosened around his neck. Dark circles shadow his eyes, and there's tension in his shoulders that speaks of a long, difficult night. "Late meeting?" Sophia asks, even though she knows better than to pry into his business. "Something like that." His expression softens as he looks at Katya, who's banging her spoon on the high chair tray with enthusiasm. "Good morning, Kotanak." "Papa." Katya reaches for him, and Dmitri crosses the room to kiss her forehead, his large hand gentle on her small head. The tenderness in the gesture makes Sophia's throat tight. This is what people don't see when they whisper about the Winter King, about Dmitri Konstantin's ruthlessness and cold efficiency. They don't see the way he holds his daughter like she's made of spun glass, the way his entire face transforms when she smiles at him. "Have you eaten?" Sophia asks, turning back to the stove. "I'm not hungry. That's not what I asked." She plates the eggs and sets them on the counter with a pointed look. "Sit. Eat." Dmitri raises an eyebrow. "Are you giving me orders in my own house?" "I'm making sure you don't collapse from exhaustion." Sophia meets his gaze steadily. "Katya needs you healthy and functioning. So yes, I'm giving you orders. Eat." For a moment, she thinks she's overstepped. Dmitri's expression is unreadable, his dark eyes studying her with an intensity that makes her pulse quicken. Then, incredibly, he smiles. It's a small smile, barely there, but it transforms his face from intimidating to devastating. "Yes, ma'am," he says, settling onto one of the bar stools. Sophia turns away quickly, hoping he doesn't notice the flush creeping up her neck. She busies herself with Katya's oatmeal, cooling it carefully before setting it in front of the little girl. They eat in comfortable silence, broken only by Katya's happy babbling. Sophia watches Dmitri from the corner of her eye, noting the way he mechanically forks eggs into his mouth without really tasting them, the way his jaw tightens when his phone buzzes, the way his hand unconsciously clenches into a fist before he forces it to relax. "Bad night?" she ventures. Dmitri glances at her. "You could say that. Do you want to talk about it?" "I shouldn't. You don't need to know about..." He stops, shakes his head. "The less you know, the safer you are." "I already know enough to be in danger," Sophia points out. "I know you run an organization. I know you have enemies. I know there are armed guards patrolling the grounds and cameras everywhere." She pauses. "Knowing the specifics won't make me more of a target than I already am." Dmitri studies her for a long moment. "You're not afraid." "Of course I'm afraid. I'm terrified most of the time. Sophia wipes Katya's face with a napkin, then meets Dimitri's eyes. But being afraid doesn't change anything. I made a choice to stay, to take care of Katya, to be part of this family. I stand by that choice. Part of this family. Dimitri repeats the words slowly, like he's testing their weight. Is that how you see yourself? Sophia's heart stutters. I just meant, I like it, he interrupts softly. I like you seeing yourself that way. The moment stretches between them, charged with something Sophia doesn't want to name. Something dangerous and thrilling and completely inappropriate, given that Dimitri is her employer, that she's here for Katya, that getting involved with a man like him would be the height of foolishness. But God help her. When he looks at her like that, like she matters, like she's more than just the help. It's hard to remember all the very good reasons she should keep her distance. Katya breaks the tension by throwing her spoon on the floor with a delighted shriek. Uh-oh, she announces gleefully. Sophia laughs, grateful for the interruption. Yes. Uh-oh. Let's get you cleaned up, messy girl. She lifts Katya from the high chair, but as she turns toward the sink, Dimitri's phone erupts with an urgent buzzing. He checks the screen and his expression goes hard and cold in an instant. I have to take this. He's already standing, already moving toward his study. Sophia, keep Katya upstairs today. Don't go near the windows. Don't let her outside. Fear spikes through Sophia's chest. What's wrong? Just please. Trust me. Stay upstairs. Then he's gone, the door to his study closing with a definitive click. Sophia looks down at Katya, who's contentedly playing with her fingers, oblivious to the sudden tension crackling through the house. Looks like it's an indoor day, sweet pea, she murmurs, carrying the little girl toward the stairs. But as they climb to the third floor, Sophia notices things she's been too preoccupied to see before. The way the guards at every entrance have multiplied. The way Mrs. Volkov's expression is tighter than usual. The way there's a new tension humming through the mansion like a live wire. Something is happening. Something bad. And Sophia is right in the middle of it, whether she likes it or not. By mid-afternoon, Sophia's anxiety has ratcheted up to nearly unbearable levels. She's kept Katya entertained with books and toys and songs, but the little girl is getting restless, sensing Sophia's tension and responding with fussiness. "Oh, side?" Katya asks hopefully, pointing to the window where rain still patters against the glass. "Pay outside? Not today, baby. Let's build a fort instead, okay? With blankets?" They're in the middle of constructing an elaborate blanket fort in the playroom, when Sophia hears raised voices from downstairs. Not quite shouting, but close. Men's voices, urgent and angry. She scoops Katya up and carries her to the nursery, closing and locking the door behind them. Her heart is hammering against her ribs. "Sing, So-So?" Katya requests, picking up on Sophia's fear. "Yes, sweetheart. Let's sing." Sophia settles into the rocking chair and begins the Mandarin lullaby, trying to keep her voice steady even as her mind races. Should she call someone? Mrs. Volkov? The police? But what would she even say? She doesn't know what's happening. Doesn't know if this is normal or dangerous or... The door handle rattles. Sophia's breath catches. "Sophia, it's me. Open the door." Dimitri's voice. She recognizes it instantly and nearly collapses with relief. She carries Katya to the door and unlocks it with shaking hands. Dimitri steps inside, and Sophia's relief evaporates. There's blood on his white shirt, not a lot, but enough. His knuckles are split and bruised, and his expression is colder than she's ever seen it, like he's locked away every shred of humanity behind walls of ice. "Are you hurt?" The words come out as a whisper. "It's not my blood." Dimitri's eyes flick to Katya, who's watching him with wide eyes. His expression immediately softens. "Hello, Kodanok. Papa's here." "Papa!" Katya reaches for him, and Dimitri takes her into his arms, holding her close despite the blood staining his clothes. "What happened?" Sophia asks. "Someone tried to send me a message." Dimitri's voice is flat, emotionless. "They failed." "A message about what?" He looks at her over Katya's head, and Sophia sees the war happening behind his eyes, the desire to protect her from the truth warring with the realization that she's already too deep to shelter completely. "There's a rival organization," he finally says. "The Volkov family. They've been trying to move into Boston for the past year. I've been holding them back, but they're getting bolder." He pauses. Today they made it clear they know about Katya. "About you." The bottom drops out of Sophia's stomach. "They threatened us. They threatened everything I care about." Dimitri's arms tighten around his daughter, which means I need to end this. Permanently. How? You don't want to know the answer to that. Yes, I do. Sophia steps closer, her voice firm despite the fear coursing through her veins. If my life is in danger, if Katya's life is in danger, I deserve to know what you're planning. Dmitri studies her for a long moment. Then, slowly, he nods. There's going to be a meeting tomorrow night. Neutral ground. All the major families in New England. I'm going to make it clear that anyone who touches what's mine will face consequences they can't imagine. And if they don't listen, then there will be a war. He says it simply, like he's discussing the weather. And I will win it, no matter the cost. Sophia thinks about the blood on his shirt, the bruises on his knuckles, the cold determination in his eyes. This is the man people fear, the Winter King who built an empire on calculated violence and unwavering control. But she also sees the way he holds Katya, the way his thumb gently strokes her back, the way his jaw clenches with barely contained emotion when he looks at his daughter. I won't let anything happen to either of you, Dmitri says quietly. I promise you that, Sophia, whatever it takes. I believe you, and she does. God help her, she does. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. Dmitri's phone buzzes again. He checks it, his expression hardening further. I need to go. I have things to handle before tomorrow. He kisses Katya's forehead, breathing her in like she's oxygen. Be good for Sophia, Kotanok. He hands Katya back to Sophia, and as their hands brush during the transfer, electricity sparks between them. Dmitri's fingers linger on hers for just a second longer than necessary. Stay in the family wing tonight, he says. Don't open the door for anyone except me or Mrs. Volkov. And if anything feels wrong, if you hear anything unusual, there's a panic button in your bedroom, behind the nightstand. Press it and my men will be there in 30 seconds. Dmitri, you're scaring me. Good. You should be scared. Fear keeps you alert, but then his expression softens fractionally. But I will protect you, both of you. That's not fear talking, that's a promise. He leaves before Sophia can respond, the door closing quietly behind him. Sophia looks down at Katya, who's playing with the pendant on Sophia's necklace, completely unaware of the danger swirling around them. What have I gotten us into, sweet girl? She whispers. But Katya just smiles and says, Sing so-so? And Sophia does, because singing is the only thing she knows how to do when the world feels like it's crumbling. That night, Sophia can't sleep. She lies in her bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to Katya's peaceful breathing through the baby monitor. Every sound makes her jump, the house settling, rain against the windows, her own heartbeat thundering in her ears. At 2 a.m, she gives up. She pulls on her robe and pads quietly to the nursery to check on Katya. The little girl is sleeping soundly, her stuffed rabbit clutched close, her expression serene. Sophia stands there for a long moment, one hand resting on the crib rail, and lets herself acknowledge the truth she's been avoiding for weeks. She loves this child. Completely, irrevocably, with every fiber of her being. Somewhere between that first fevered night and now, Katya has become hers in all the ways that matter. And if Sophia is honest with herself, Katya isn't the only Konstantin who's wormed their way into her heart. She thinks about Dmitri, the way he looks at his daughter with such fierce devotion, the way he listens when Sophia speaks like her words actually matter, the way he's let her see glimpses of the man beneath the ruthless exterior, the way he smiled at her this morning, small and private and devastating. She shouldn't feel this way. She works for him. She's here for Katya, not for him. Getting emotionally involved with a man like Dmitri Konstantin is asking for heartbreak at best, danger at worst. But apparently her heart didn't get the memo. A soft knock on the nursery door makes her spin around, her heart leaping into her throat. It's me. Dmitri's voice comes through the door. Can I come in? Sophia opens the door to find him still dressed in the clothes from earlier, though he's changed his blood-stained shirt for a black t-shirt. He looks exhausted, shadows deep under his eyes, but when he sees her, his expression softens. Couldn't sleep? He asks quietly. No, you? I don't sleep much these days. He moves past her to the crib, looking down at Katya with an expression so tender it makes Sophia's chest ache. I keep thinking if I close my eyes, something will happen. Someone will take her. And I'll fail to protect her the way I failed to protect Irina. The raw honesty in his voice strips away Sophia's defenses. She moves to stand beside him, close enough that their shoulders almost touch. You didn't fail Irina, she says softly. What happened to her that was a medical complication? No one's fault. I should have insisted on a different hospital. Better doctors. I should have. His voice cracks. I should have been there. But I was handling a crisis with the Marchetti family, and by the time I got to the hospital, she was already dying, already slipping away. And all I could do was hold her hand and watch her go. Tears slipped down Sophia's cheeks. I'm so sorry. She made me promise, Dmitri continues, his eyes fixed on his sleeping daughter. With her last breath, she made me promise to protect Katya, to love her enough for both of us, to make sure she grew up knowing she was wanted. And I've been trying, but I don't know how to do the soft things, the gentle things. I only know how to be hard. That's not true. Sophia turns to face him fully. You think holding your daughter the way you do is hard? You think the way you look at her, the way you say her name, the way you kiss her goodnight, even when you're exhausted. You think that's anything other than the softest, gentlest love I've ever seen? Dmitri finally looks at her, and the vulnerability in his eyes steals her breath. You've given her more than I ever could, he says. In 3 weeks, you've transformed her into a happy, healthy child. You've given her peace, stability, love. Things I don't know how to give. You're wrong. Sophia reaches out without thinking, her hand coming to rest on his arm. You gave her life. You chose to keep going after Irina died. To raise your daughter alone. To love her fiercely despite your grief. That's not nothing, Dmitri. That's everything. His hand covers hers, warm and strong. I couldn't have done it without you. You would have found a way. You're stronger than you think. So are you. His thumb traces circles on the back of her hand, the touch sending shivers up her spine. You're not afraid of me. Everyone else in my life, they either fear me or want something from me. But you order me to eat breakfast. You tell me when I'm being stupid. You look at me like I'm just a man, not a monster. Because you are just a man. Sophia's voice is barely a whisper. A man who's doing his best in impossible circumstances. A man who loves his daughter more than his own life. A man who's worthy of respect and care and... She stops, the word love hovering unspoken between them. Dmitri steps closer, his free hand coming up to cup her face. And what? His voice is rough, desperate. Say it, Sophia. But she can't take that final step into territory that will change everything irrevocably. Instead, she does something equally dangerous. She rises on her toes and presses her lips to his. For one heartbeat, Dmitri goes perfectly still. Then his arms come around her, pulling her close, and he's kissing her back with a hunger that makes her knees weak. His lips are warm and firm, his hands gentle despite their strength, and Sophia feels herself melting into him like she was made to fit exactly here. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Dmitri rests his forehead against hers. This is a terrible idea, he murmurs. I know. You work for me. You're here for Katya. I know. If my enemies find out you matter to me, they'll use you, hurt you. I know. Sophia pulls back enough to meet his eyes. But I'm already in danger just by being here. Already a target because I take care of your daughter. So why not let this be real, whatever this is? Because I'm terrified of losing you the way I lost Irina. The confession breaks from Dmitri like he's been holding it back for weeks. Because letting you matter, letting you in, that gives the universe another person I love, that it can rip away from me. Or, Sophia says gently, it gives you another reason to fight, another reason to win, another reason to come home safe. Dmitri searches her face, and she sees the moment he makes his decision, sees the walls come down, just a little, just enough. I'm falling in love with you, he whispers. God help me, Sophia. I'm falling so hard I don't know how to stop. The words should terrify her, should send her running back to the safety of professional boundaries and emotional distance. Instead, they fill her with a fierce joy that takes her breath away. Then don't stop, she whispers back. Fall. I'll catch you. Will you? Even knowing what I am? What I do? I see what you are. Dmitri. And what you are is a man who would burn the world to protect the people he loves. A man who's carrying impossible weight and refusing to break. A man who deserves to be loved back just as fiercely as he loves. She pauses. So yes, I'll catch you. I promise. Dmitri kisses her again, slower this time, deeper, like he's memorizing the taste of her. When he pulls back, his eyes are shining with moisture. I don't deserve you. Probably not. Sophia agrees with a small smile. But you're stuck with me anyway. They stand there in the nursery, holding each other while Katya sleeps peacefully nearby, And Sophia thinks about the impossible path that brought her here, about hearing a child cry and making the choice to answer, about a Mandarin lullaby and a broken father and a little girl who needed someone to love her without reservation, about how sometimes the most dangerous choice is also the right one. "Stay with me tonight," Dmitri says quietly. "Not I don't mean." He stops, frustrated. "Just stay. Let me hold you. Let me know you're safe." Sophia should say no, should maintain some semblance of propriety. But she's tired of fighting what she feels, tired of pretending this is just a job. "Okay," she whispers. "I'll stay." They move to the rocking chair, Dmitri settling in first and then pulling Sophia onto his lap. She curls against his chest, her head resting over his heart, and his arms come around her like a fortress. "Tell me about your grandmother," he says softly. "About the woman who taught you to sing." So Sophia does. She tells him about Mama Chen, about growing up in San Francisco's Chinatown, about learning to fold dumplings and speak Mandarin and recognize when someone needed comfort. She tells him about her parents' death, about the grief that nearly swallowed her, about her grandmother's patient love that pulled her back to life. And as she talks, Dmitri listens with complete attention, his hand stroking her hair, his heartbeat steady beneath her ear. When she finishes, he tells her about Irina, about falling in love with her at a charity gala, about the way she laughed, about how she saw the man he could be instead of the monster he'd become, about their wedding day and the moment he learned she was pregnant and the joy that filled his life for those brief 9 months, about the moment everything shattered. They share their grief like a gift, offering up their broken pieces to each other, trusting that together they might be able to make something whole. And when dawn begins to lighten the sky outside the nursery windows, Sophia realizes something profound. She's home, not in the mansion, not in Boston, but here, in Dmitri's arms, with Katya sleeping peacefully nearby. This impossible, dangerous, beautiful family they're building together. This is where she belongs. The meeting happens the next evening in a warehouse on the waterfront. Dmitri leaves at 7, dressed in a dark suit that makes him look every inch the Winter King. Before he goes, he finds Sophia in the playroom with Katya and pulls her aside. "Marco is in charge while I'm gone," he says quietly. "He knows to protect you and Katya above everything else. If anything happens, nothing's going to happen." Sophia reaches up to straighten his tie, a gesture that feels intimate, domestic. "You're going to make them understand that we're off limits, and then you're going to come home." So confident. "In you, always." Dmitri kisses her, quick and hard. "I love you," he says against her lips. "I should have said it last night, but I'm saying it now. I love you, Sophia Chen." Her heart soars. "I love you too." "Good." His smile is fierce. "Remember that when you're questioning my methods later." Then he's gone, and Sophia is left alone with Katya and a house full of guards and a fear she's trying hard not to show. She keeps Katya distracted with dinner and bath time and songs. But the little girl senses something is wrong. She's clingy, fussy, asking for Papa every few minutes. "Papa will be home soon," Sophia promises, even though she has no idea if it's true. At 9 o'clock, Mrs. Volkov appears in the doorway. "Miss Chen, you should put Katya to bed now. And then Mr. Konstantin wanted you to know you should prepare yourself. Things may get complicated tonight." "What does that mean?" Mrs. Volkov's expression is carefully neutral. "It means he's doing what's necessary to protect his family. That's all you need to know." After the older woman leaves, Sophia goes through the bedtime routine on autopilot. She changes Katya into pajamas, brushes her teeth, reads 3 stories, and sings the Mandarin lullaby until the little girl's eyes drift closed. "Sweet dreams, precious girl," she whispers, kissing Katya's forehead. "Your papa loves you so much." She's just closed the nursery door when she hears it. Gunshots, distant but unmistakable. Her blood runs cold. Marco appears at the top of the stairs, his expression grim. "Miss Chen, I need you to go to the panic room. Now." "What's happening?" The meeting didn't go as planned. The Volkovs made their move. More gunshots, closer this time. "They're hitting our properties all over the city. This house is next on their list." Sophia's heart stops. "Dmitri, the boss is handling his end. I need to handle mine. Which means getting you and the little one somewhere safe." Marco's already moving toward the nursery. "I'll carry Katya. You follow me. Don't stop. Don't look back. Just run." They're halfway down the hall when the windows explode inward. Glass shatters everywhere. Sophia screams, throwing her arms over her head. Marco shields Katya with his body. the little girl waking and immediately beginning to wail in terror. Men pour through the broken windows, dressed in black, faces covered, weapons drawn. "Get to the panic room!" Marco shouts, firing his gun at the intruders. "Go, go, go!" Sophia runs, her bare feet cutting on broken glass, her only thought to reach safety. But a hand catches her hair, yanking her back with brutal force. She crashes to the floor, pain exploding through her skull. A man looms over her, his eyes cold behind his mask. "The nanny," he says in accented English. "Perfect," the boss said to bring her alive. Terror floods Sophia's system. She kicks out, catching the man in the knee. He grunts, his grip loosening, and she scrambles away on hands and knees, leaving bloody handprints on the hardwood. More gunfire, shouting, the sound of Katya screaming, "So-so, so-so." Sophia reaches for the baby, but strong arms wrap around her waist, lifting her off the ground. She fights with everything she has, kicking and clawing and screaming, but her captor is too strong. "Marco!" she shrieks. "Marco, help!" But Marco is surrounded, fighting off 3 men at once while somehow still protecting Katya. He can't reach Sophia, can't save her, the man carrying her heads for the shattered window. And that's when Konstantin arrives, like the wrath of God. He comes through the front entrance with a team of his own men, and the sound of his voice, cold, deadly, absolutely furious, cuts through the chaos like a knife. "Put her down." Sophia's captor freezes. Everyone freezes. Dmitri stands in the hallway, gun raised, his dark suit splattered with blood, his expression carved from ice and murder. "You made a mistake coming to my home," he says, each word precise and lethal. "You made an even bigger mistake putting your hands on what's mine." The man holding Sophia tightens his grip. "We have the girl, Konstantin. You make one move and—" He doesn't get to finish. Dmitri moves with terrifying speed, closing the distance and putting a bullet between the man's eyes before Sophia can even blink. She's falling. Strong arms catch her, but they're not her captors. They're Dmitri's. "I've got you," he says, his voice rough. "I've got you, sweetheart. You're safe now." Then, all hell breaks loose. The fight is brutal and swift. Dmitri's men are better trained, more motivated, and absolutely ruthless. Within minutes, the Volkov soldiers are either dead or fleeing, and Dmitri is barking orders for cleanup and security sweeps. Sophia clings to him, shaking so hard her teeth chatter. "Katya, Marco has her. She's safe." Dmitri's hands run over her, checking for injuries. "You're bleeding. Your feet, your hands." I'm okay. But she's not okay. She's trembling and terrified, and suddenly everything she's been holding back crashes over her in a wave. She starts crying, great heaving sobs that shake her whole body. Dmitri holds her through it, one hand cradling her head against his chest, the other wrapped tight around her waist. "I'm sorry," he says, his voice breaking. "I'm so sorry, Sophia. I should have been here. Should have protected you better. Should have." "You came," she manages between sobs. "You came and you saved me. Always." He kisses her hair, her temple, her forehead. "Always, always, always. No matter what. I will always come for you." Marco appears with Katya, the little girl reaching desperately for Sophia. "So-so, want so-so." Dmitri helps Sophia take Katya into her arms, and the 3 of them sink to the floor right there in the hallway, surrounded by broken glass and chaos, holding each other like lifelines. "Papa home," Katya whimpers, one hand on Dmitri's face, the other clutching Sophia's shirt. "Papa saved So-so." "Yes, Kotenok, Papa saved So-so." Dmitri's voice is thick with emotion. "And Papa is never letting either of you out of his sight again." Later, after a doctor has bandaged Sophia's hands and feet, after Katya has finally cried herself to sleep in Sophia's arms, after the cleanup crew has finished and the broken windows have been temporarily boarded up, Dmitri finds Sophia sitting in the rocking chair in the nursery. He kneels beside her, taking her bandaged hand in his. "The Volkov family is finished," he says quietly. "Their leadership is dead. Their organization is scattered. They'll never threaten us again." Sophia should be horrified, should be appalled by the violence, the death, the ruthless efficiency with which Dmitri has eliminated his enemies. But all she feels is relief and love, and a fierce gratitude that this dangerous, complicated man is on her side. "Good," she says simply. Dmitri's eyes search hers. "You're not afraid of me? Of what I did tonight?" "I'm terrified of you," Sophia admits. "But not because of what you did. I'm terrified because I love you so much that the thought of losing you makes me want to stop breathing. I'm terrified because Katya loves you and needs you, and if something happened to you, it would destroy her. I'm terrified because you've become my whole world, and I don't know how to protect my heart from that. You don't protect your heart from it. Dmitri rises, pulling her up with him, careful of her injuries. You lean into it. You trust it. You let yourself fall, knowing I'll catch you every single time. Promise? I promise, Sophia. I swear on everything I am. Everything I have, I will catch you. Always. He kisses her then, slow and deep and full of promises neither of them can guarantee but both of them believe. And in her crib, Katya sleeps peacefully, her stuffed rabbit clutched close, dreaming of a world where her papa always comes home and her so-so never leaves. A world they're going to fight like hell to make real. 2 months after the attack, Sophia wakes to sunlight streaming through the curtains and Dmitri's arm draped across her waist. She's been sleeping in his room more nights than not lately, though they still maintain the pretense of separate bedrooms for propriety's sake, as if anyone in the house is fooled. She turns carefully to watch him sleep. In repose, the hard lines of his face soften. He looks younger, less burdened. His dark hair is mussed, falling across his forehead, and there's the ghost of a smile on his lips. She loves him so much it terrifies her. The past 2 months have been a revelation. With the Volkov threat eliminated, Dmitri has been able to relax incrementally. He still works long hours, still deals with the reality of running a criminal empire. But he comes home for dinner now, reads bedtime stories to Katya, takes Sundays off to spend with his family. His family, that's how he refers to them now, Sophia and Katya, his girls, his reason for everything. They haven't talked about marriage, about making this official, but it hangs in the air between them. A possibility, a promise, a future they're both afraid to reach for too eagerly in case it gets snatched away. Dmitri's eyes flutter open, immediately finding hers. His smile is sleepy and genuine. Morning, he murmurs, pulling her closer. Morning. She kisses him softly. Katya will be up soon. Let her sleep. I want 5 more minutes with just you. They lie there in comfortable silence, and Sophia lets herself imagine this is her life now. Not the nanny, not the employee, but Dmitri's partner. Katya's mother in all the ways that matter. The fantasy shatters when Dmitri's phone buzzes insistently on the nightstand. He groans, reaching for it. His expression changes as he reads the message, going from relaxed to alert in an instant. What is it? Sophia asks, her stomach dropping. Marco needs me downstairs. We have a situation. He's already getting out of bed, pulling on clothes with efficient speed. Stay with Katya. I'll be back as soon as I can. Dmitri. It's fine, just business. But the tension in his shoulders tells her it's not fine at all. He kisses her quickly and disappears, leaving Sophia alone with a growing sense of dread. She goes to check on Katya, finding the little girl still sleeping peacefully, her dark curls spread across the pillow. At just over 2 years old, she's growing so fast, talking in full sentences now, running everywhere, her personality blooming into something bright and joyful. Sophia sits in the rocking chair, watching her sleep, and tries to shake the feeling that something bad is coming. An hour later, Mrs. Volkov appears at the nursery door, her expression grave. Miss Chen, Mr. Konstantin would like to see you in his study. I'll watch Katya. The walk to Dmitri's study feels like walking to an execution. Sophia's hands are shaking as she knocks on the heavy oak door. Come in. Dmitri sits behind his desk, Marco standing beside him. Both men look grim, and there's a third person in the room, a woman Sophia doesn't recognize. She's in her 50s, elegantly dressed, with sharp eyes that assess Sophia with calculating precision. Sophia, this is Natasha Volkov, Dmitri says, his voice carefully neutral. Viktor Volkov's widow. The blood drains from Sophia's face. Viktor Volkov, the man Dmitri killed 2 months ago. The leader of the family that attacked their home. Mrs. Volkov has brought us an interesting proposition, Dmitri continues. One that affects you directly. Natasha Volkov speaks, her accent thick. I do not want war, Mr. Konstantin. My husband was a fool who underestimated you. He paid for that with his life, and I have no desire to follow him into the grave. She pauses. But I also cannot let his death go unanswered. My family, they demand retribution. Blood for blood. Sophia's heart hammers against her ribs. What does that have to do with me? She wants to trade, Marco says flatly. The Volkov organization's complete withdrawal from Boston in exchange for... He stops, jaw clenching. In exchange for you. Dmitri finishes, his voice hollow. She wants me to give you up. Send you away. Remove you from my life completely. The room tilts. What? Natasha leans forward. You are his weakness, Miss Chen. Everyone knows this. The great Winter King, brought to his knees by a pretty nanny. Her smile is cold. If you leave, if you disappear from his life, then honor is satisfied. My people can say you were punished for your role in my husband's death. The war ends. No more bloodshed. And if I refuse? Sophia asks, even though she already knows the answer. Then the war continues, Natasha says simply. More attacks, more violence, and eventually, we will succeed. We will kill Mr. Konstantin, take his territory, and destroy everything he's built, including his daughter. The threat against Katya makes Sophia's vision go red. You wouldn't dare. I would dare nothing. But my people, they are angry, vengeful. They want blood. I am offering a way to satisfy them without more death. Natasha stands. I will give you 24 hours to decide. Leave quietly, or watch everyone you love suffer the consequences of your selfishness. She sweeps out of the room, leaving behind a suffocating silence. Sophia looks at Dmitri, searching his face for direction, for reassurance, for anything. But what she sees there breaks her heart. Resignation, and beneath it, a terrible, soul-deep fear. You're actually considering this, she whispers. No. Dmitri's response is immediate and fierce. Absolutely not. I'm not giving you up, Sophia. Not for peace. Not for anything. But there are no buts. You're mine. You're Katya's. Your family. He stands, moving around the desk to take her hands. I'll find another way. I'll end this war. Eliminate every Volkov loyalist if I have to. But I am not sending you away. Marco clears his throat. Boss, if I may, she's not wrong about the stakes. The Volkov family is fractured, but they still have significant resources. Loyalists across 3 states. If they unite against us, then we'll fight. Dmitri's voice is steel. We've fought before. We'll fight again. With Katya in the crossfire? Marco's question is gentle but devastating. With Sophia as a permanent target, they know where we live now, what we care about. They'll never stop coming. Sophia feels the trap closing around them. She looks at Dmitri's face, at the man she loves more than her own life, and sees him being torn apart. If she stays, there will be war. Violence, death. And Katya will grow up in constant danger, never knowing peace, always waiting for the next attack. But if she leaves, I need to think, she says quietly. Alone. Please. Dmitri's grip on her hands tightens. Sophia, please, Dmitri, just give me some time to think. She pulls away before he can argue and flees the study, her heart shattering with every step. Sophia spends the next hours in a fog. She goes through the motions with Katya playing, singing, reading stories, but her mind is spinning in endless circles. She thinks about her grandmother's teachings, about sacrifice and love and doing what's right even when it costs you everything. She thinks about Katya's face when Dmitri comes home, the way she lights up, the way she shouts, Papa, with such pure joy. She thinks about what the little girl's life would become if this war continues. Locked behind guards, unable to go to parks or schools, living in fear every single day. She thinks about Dmitri, about the weight he carries, about how loving her has made him vulnerable in ways that could destroy everything he's built. And she thinks about herself, about walking away from the only family she's had since her grandmother died, about losing the man she loves and the child who calls her So-So, about surviving a loss that might actually kill her. That evening, after putting Katya to bed, Sophia finds Dmitri on the roof terrace. He's staring out at the Boston skyline, a glass of whiskey in his hand. I was wondering when you'd find me, he says without turning around. Sophia moves to stand beside him, close enough that their shoulders touch. I've been thinking. So have I. He takes a drink. And I've come to a decision. We're leaving Boston, tonight. I'm going to liquidate everything. Take Katya and you somewhere they'll never find us. Maybe Europe, maybe Asia. Somewhere we can start over. You would give up everything? Sophia asks softly. Your empire, your territory, everything you've built? In a heartbeat. If it means keeping you safe, keeping Katya safe, I'd burn it all to the ground and walk away without looking back. He finally turns to face her, and the intensity in his eyes steals her breath. You're more important than all of it, Sophia. Both of you are. The money, the power, the respect. None of it means anything without you. Tears streamed down Sophia's face. I love you so much. Then come with me. We'll disappear. Start a new life. I'll be whoever you need me to be. Businessman, father, just a man who loves you. No more violence, no more danger, just us. It's tempting. God, it's so tempting. To run away, to start over, to build something clean and new and untainted by blood. But Sophia knows the truth. Dmitri can't just walk away. His empire isn't something he can abandon without consequences. People depend on him, his soldiers, their families, the legitimate businesses he runs that employ hundreds. And running would mean spending the rest of their lives looking over their shoulders, waiting for someone to find them, to threaten Katya, to destroy the fragile peace they'd tried to build. We can't run, she says gently. You know we can't. Then what? Dmitri's voice breaks. What other choice do we have? Sophia takes a deep breath, steeling herself for what she's about to say. I leave. Not forever. Just for a while. Until you can end this war properly. Until you can eliminate the threat completely. I'll go somewhere safe. Somewhere they can't find me. And when it's over. No. The word is flat. Absolute. I already told you no, Sophia. I'm not sending you away. Dmitri, please listen. There's nothing to listen to. You're not leaving. End of discussion. It's not your decision. The words burst from Sophia with surprising force. I'm not your possession, Dmitri. I'm not something you can control or protect through sheer force of will. I have agency here. I have a choice. And I'm choosing to protect the people I love the only way I can. By breaking my heart? Dmitri's eyes shine with moisture. By abandoning Katya? I would never abandon her. Never. Sophia steps closer, taking his face in her hands. But if I stay, she grows up in a war zone. She watches people die. She lives in constant fear. Is that what you want for her? Is that the life Irina would have wanted for your daughter? The invocation of Irina's name makes Dmitri flinch. That's not fair. None of this is fair. But it's the reality we're facing. Sophia's tears fall faster now. I love you both so much. Which is exactly why I can't let you sacrifice everything for me. Why I can't let Katya pay the price for my selfishness. Loving you isn't selfish. Staying when I know it will get you killed is. She pulls back, wrapping her arms around herself. I've thought about this from every angle, Dmitri. I've tried to find another way. But this is the only solution that keeps everyone alive. That gives you a chance to end the war on your terms, instead of fighting a protracted battle you might not win. I would win. His voice is cold now, dangerous. I always win. Maybe. But at what cost? How many of your men would die? How many innocent people caught in the crossfire? How long before someone gets lucky and puts a bullet in you? She shakes her head. I can't watch that happen. I can't stand by while you destroy yourself trying to protect me. So your solution is to destroy me by leaving? Dmitri laughs bitterly. You think that's better? I think it gives you a chance to survive, to win cleanly, to build a future where Katya can be safe. Sophia moves closer again, desperate for him to understand. And when it's over, when the Volkovs are truly finished, I'll come back. I swear to you, Dmitri, I will come back. This isn't goodbye forever. It's just temporary. Temporary. He spits the word like poison. You're talking about walking away from us, from the life we're building, and you think it's temporary? Yes, because I trust you. I trust that you'll end this war, that you'll make it safe for me to return, and I trust that you love me enough to wait for me. Dmitri stares at her, and Sophia sees the moment he realizes she's serious, that she's actually going to do this. Don't, he pleads, all his cold authority crumbling. Sophia, please, don't leave me, don't leave us. We'll find another way. I promise we'll find another way. There is no other way. She's crying openly now, her heart breaking into pieces. This is the only path that doesn't end with you dead or Katya traumatized or both. And I love you too much to let that happen. I love you too much to let you go. Then love me enough to let me do this. Love me enough to fight for our future, even if it means I have to step away for a while. She takes his hands, holding them against her chest. Promise me you'll end this war. Promise me you'll make it safe. And promise me you'll wait for me no matter how long it takes. Dmitri's face contorts with anguish. You're asking me to let you sacrifice yourself. I'm asking you to let me protect the people I love the same way you protect us. I'm asking you to see me as your equal, your partner, someone strong enough to make hard choices too. She squeezes his hands. Please, Dmitri. Please let me do this. The silence that follows is excruciating. Dimitri's entire body is rigid with the effort of not falling apart, and Sophia can see the war raging behind his eyes. Finally, he speaks, his voice wrecked. If I agree to this, if I let you go, you have to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll come back. No matter how long it takes, no matter what happens, promise me this isn't the end of us. I promise. The words come out fierce, certain. I love you, Dmitri Konstantin. I will always love you, and I will come back to you. I swear on everything I am. He pulls her into his arms then, holding her so tight she can barely breathe. She feels his tears against her hair, feels the way his body shakes with suppressed sobs. I can't do this, he whispers. I can't watch you walk away. Yes, you can. You're the strongest man I know. You can do anything. They stand there on the roof terrace, clinging to each other as the city lights glitter below them, and Sophia commits every detail to memory. The way he smells expensive cologne and whiskey and something uniquely him. The way his arms feel around her, safe, strong, home. The sound of his heartbeat against her ear. She's going to need these memories to survive what comes next. The hardest part is saying goodbye to Katya. Sophia waits until morning, until the little girl wakes up happy and bright-eyed, before gathering her into her arms one last time. So has to go away for a little while, sweet pea, she says, her voice breaking. Katya's face crumples. No, go away. I know, baby, I know. But I have to. Just for a little while. Sophia rocks her gently, singing the Mandarin lullaby through her tears. But Papa is going to be here. He's going to take such good care of you, and I'm going to think about you every single day. Want so stay. Katya's crying now, fat tears rolling down her cheeks, and it's taking everything Sophia has not to completely break down. I want to stay too. So much. But sometimes we have to do hard things to protect the people we love. She kisses Katya's forehead, her cheeks, her little hands. I love you, Katya. More than anything in the world. You're my precious girl, and nothing will ever change that. Dmitri appears in the doorway, his expression devastated. The car is ready. Sophia nods, unable to speak past the lump in her throat. She stands, still holding Katya, and carries her to Dmitri. Take care of her, she whispers, as she transfers the crying little girl to his arms. Take care of each other. Come back to us, Dmitri says, his voice raw. Please, Sophia, come back. I will. I promise. She kisses him one last time, tasting salt and grief and love so deep it feels like drowning. Then she forces herself to turn away, to walk out of the nursery, down the stairs, out of the mansion that's become her home. Marco drives her to the airport, neither of them speaking. Dmitri has arranged everything, a private flight to San Francisco, a secure apartment, money, protection, everything she needs to disappear safely. Everything except the people she loves. As the plane takes off, Sophia presses her face to the window and watches Boston shrink below her. Somewhere in that sprawling city, Dmitri is holding their daughter, trying to soothe her broken heart while his own shatters, and Sophia sends up a desperate prayer to her grandmother's memory. Help him. Give him strength. Bring me home. The war that follows is brutal and swift. Sophia watches from San Francisco, as news reports trickle in about violence in Boston. Gang warfare, the reporters call it. Organized crime families tearing each other apart. She knows the truth. Dmitri is systematically dismantling the Volkov organization, eliminating every loyalist, every ally, every person who might pose a threat. He's doing it with ruthless efficiency, and she knows it's costing him not just in resources, but in pieces of his soul. He calls every night, sometimes to tell her about the progress, sometimes just to hear her voice. Katya asked for you 17 times today, he says one evening, exhaustion heavy in his tone. She keeps going to your room, looking for you. Sophia's heart breaks a little more. How is she? Sad, confused. Missing you. He pauses. Like her father. I miss you both so much. Tell her Soso loves her. Tell her I'm coming home as soon as I can. How long, Sophia? How much longer do we have to do this? Until it's safe. Until you're sure. 3 months in, Dmitri calls with news that makes her heart soar. It's done. Natasha Volkov is dead. Her remaining lieutenants have either fled the country or sworn allegiance to me. The threat is eliminated. Completely? Completely. I've consolidated power, absorbed what was useful from their organization, and made it clear to every family from Boston to Philadelphia that you and Katya are untouchable. No one will come for you again. I've made sure of it. Sophia closes her eyes, relief flooding through her. So I can come home? Yes. The word sounds like a prayer. God, yes, please come home. We need you. I need you. I'm booking a flight right now. No need. I'm already on my way to you. Her heart stops. What? I'm in a car, heading to the airport. I'll be in San Francisco by tonight. His voice roughens with emotion. I can't wait another day, Sophia. Not one more day without you. Tears stream down her face. Dmitri, I'm bringing Katya. We're coming to get you. And then we're all coming home together. As a family. I love you. I love you too. So damn much. Wait for me, sweetheart. Just a few more hours. But those few hours never come. Sophia is packing, her hands shaking with excitement and joy, when her phone rings. Not Dmitri's number. Marco's. Hello? Miss Chen. Marco's voice is tight, controlled in a way that makes her stomach drop. There's been an incident. The world stops. What kind of incident? An ambush. On the way to the airport. We thought we'd eliminated all the threats. But there was a sleeper cell. Volkov loyalists we didn't know about. He pauses. The boss took 3 bullets. 1 to the shoulder, 1 to the abdomen, 1 to the chest. He's alive, but he's critical, Miss Chen. They're rushing him to surgery now. Sophia's knees give out. She sinks to the floor, the phone pressed to her ear, her entire world crumbling. Katya? She manages to ask. Safe. She wasn't in the car. The boss had her in a separate vehicle with extra security. She doesn't know anything yet. I'm coming right now. Tell him to hold on. Tell him I'm coming. I will. But Miss Chen, you should prepare yourself. The doctors said they're doing everything they can, but the chest wound is bad. Very bad. Sophia doesn't remember booking the flight, doesn't remember the hours in the air or the taxi to the hospital. All she knows is that she bursts through the emergency room doors at Massachusetts General like a woman possessed, demanding to see Dmitri Konstantin. Marco finds her in the waiting area. His shirt is covered in blood, Dmitri's blood, and his face is gray. He's still in surgery, he says quietly. It's been 4 hours. I need to see him. As soon as they let us, I promise. He guides her to a chair. Katya is with Mrs. Volkov. She keeps asking for you. For her papa. Where are they? Private waiting room on the 3rd floor. I can take you. No. I'll go after I know he's... She can't finish the sentence. After I know if he's going to live or die. They wait. Minutes bleed into hours. Sophia prays in Mandarin and English, bargaining with God and the universe and anyone who might be listening. Take anything. Take everything. Just let him live. Please let him live. At hour 6, a surgeon appears, still in scrubs, exhaustion etched into every line of his face. He's alive, the doctor says, and Sophia nearly collapses with relief. It was touch and go. We almost lost him twice on the table. But he's a fighter, stronger than anyone I've ever seen. Can I see him? He's in recovery, still unconscious. But yes, you can see him, just for a few minutes. Sophia follows the doctor through sterile hallways to a recovery room. And there's Dmitri, looking smaller somehow in the hospital bed. Tubes and wires connecting him to machines that beep steadily, but his chest is rising and falling. He's breathing. He's alive. She moves to his bedside, taking his hand carefully. I'm here, she whispers. I came back, just like I promised. And you better wake up, Dmitri Konstantin, because your daughter needs you. I need you. We didn't survive all of this just for you to give up now. His fingers twitch in hers. Just barely, but enough. That's right, she says, tears streaming down her face. Fight. You're the Winter King, remember? You don't lose. You never lose. And somewhere in the depths of unconsciousness, Dmitri hears her. He has to, because his hand tightens around hers with surprising strength. He's fighting his way back to her. 3 weeks later, Dmitri comes home from the hospital. He's still healing, still weak, but the doctors cleared him for home care with strict orders for rest and physical therapy. He's grumpy about the restrictions, impatient with his body's limitations, but Sophia doesn't care. He's alive. That's all that matters. Katya hasn't left his side since Sophia brought her to visit him in the hospital. She cuddles against him constantly, patting his chest gently like she's checking to make sure his heart is still beating. Papa hurt? She asks for the 100th time. Papa's getting better, Dmitri assures her, kissing her hair. Thanks to Soso taking such good care of me. Sophia has indeed taken care of him with fierce devotion, managing his medications, helping him with exercises, making sure he eats properly and sleeps enough. She's also taken over more of his business operations, working with Marco to handle things Dimitri can't manage yet. She's surprised to find she's good at it. The strategic thinking, the negotiations, the balance of firmness and flexibility required. Dimitri watches her work with pride and something deeper recognition that she's not just his partner in love, but in every aspect of his life. One evening, after Katya has been put to bed, Sophia finds Dimitri on the roof terrace where they had their heartbreaking conversation months ago. He's moving slowly, carefully, but the color has returned to his face and the strength is coming back to his body day by day. "You shouldn't be climbing stairs yet," she scolds gently. "I needed air. And I wanted to be here. He stops. "Where I almost lost you." Sophia moves to stand beside him. "You didn't lose me. I almost did. If I died in that surgery, but you didn't. You fought. You survived. You came back to us." She takes his hand. "We all came back to each other." Dimitri turns to face her fully. "Marry me." Sophia's breath catches. "What?" "Marry me, Sophia Chen. I was going to do this properly ring, romantic proposal, the whole thing. But I'm done waiting. Done pretending I can live without you for even a day." He cups her face with his free hand. "You're already Katya's mother in every way that matters. Be my wife, officially, legally, forever." "Dimitri, I know my world is dangerous. I know there will always be risks. But the past few months have taught me that the biggest risk is wasting time, holding back, waiting for perfect circumstances that will never come." His thumb strokes her cheek. "I love you. Katya loves you. We want you with us always. Say yes." Sophia's eyes fill with tears. "Yes, yes, of course yes." He kisses her then, gentle because he's still healing, but no less passionate, no less full of promise and commitment and love. When they pull apart, he reaches into his pocket and produces a small box. Inside is a ring, a stunning ruby surrounded by diamonds. "Ruby for your birthstone," he explains as he slips it onto her finger. "And because you're precious and rare, and worth more than anything in my empire." Sophia laughs through her tears. "It's beautiful. You're beautiful. This life we're building is beautiful." "It is, isn't it?" Dimitri pulls her close, tucking her against his side. "Against all odds, we made something good out of all this darkness." They stand there watching the city lights, and Sophia thinks about the journey that brought them here, about a little girl crying in the night and the choice to answer that call, about a Mandarin lullaby and a broken father and love that refused to be denied, about sacrifice and courage and finding family in the most unexpected places. "I want to adopt her," Sophia says quietly. "Katya, I want to make it official. If that's okay with you, I would never try to replace Irina, but..." "Sophia," Dimitri's voice is thick with emotion. "Irina would have loved you, would have been grateful that her daughter has someone who loves her so completely. You're not replacing her. You're honoring her memory by being exactly what Katya needs." He pauses. "And yes, God, yes. I want you to adopt her. I want her to be yours officially, legally, in every possible way." Fresh tears spill down Sophia's cheeks. "I love her so much." "I know. She loves you too. You're her so-so, her mama, her everything." 6 months later, on a perfect autumn day, Sophia Chen marries Dmitri Konstantin in a small ceremony in the mansion's garden. Katya serves as flower girl, taking her job very seriously as she scatters rose petals down the aisle. She's wearing a white dress that matches Sophia's gown, her dark curls decorated with tiny flowers. The guest list is small Marco and the inner circle of Dimitri's organization, Mrs. Volkov and the household staff, Sophia's sister who flew in from San Francisco with tears of joy streaming down her face. No priests or religious officials. Instead, they write their own vows, speaking promises to each other under the open sky, with Katya standing between them, one small hand in each of theirs. "I promise to love you fiercely and protect you always," Dimitri says, his voice strong and sure. "I promise to be worthy of the gift you've given me, your heart, your courage, your unwavering faith. I promise to build a life with you that honors both the darkness we've survived and the light we've created together." Sophia's voice shakes with emotion as she responds. "I promise to stand beside you through every storm, to be your partner in all things, to love you and Katya with everything I am. I promise to sing our daughter to sleep every night, to hold your hand through every challenge, and to never stop believing in the man you are and the future we're building." Marco, officiating, smiles. Then by the power vested in me by absolutely no one, I declare you husband and wife. Boss. You may kiss your bride. Dmitri does, thoroughly, while Katya giggles and claps and shouts, Papa, kiss Mama. The reception that follows is joyful and intimate. Sophia dances with her new husband, with Katya, with Marco, who grins and tells her she's the best thing that ever happened to his boss. You made him human again, Marco says quietly. Made him remember what he's fighting for. He was always human, Sophia corrects gently. He just needed someone to see it. As the sun sets and the party winds down, Sophia finds herself back on the roof terrace with Dmitri, both of them watching the city lights come alive. Happy? He asks, pulling her close. Deliriously. You? More than I ever thought possible. He kisses her temple. Thank you, Sophia, for not walking away that first night. For being brave enough to stay even when it was dangerous. For loving us enough to leave and then coming back. For everything. Thank you for letting me in. For trusting me with your daughter, your heart, your life. They stand there in comfortable silence until Katya appears in the doorway, rubbing her sleepy eyes. Mama? Papa? Time for song? Sophia's heart swells. Mama. The word she's been waiting to hear officially. Yes, baby. Time for songs. She scoops Katya up, and together the three of them go to the nursery. They settle into the rocking chair, all of them somehow fitting together perfectly, and Sophia begins to sing. The Mandarin lullaby her grandmother taught her. The song that started everything. Yue liang zai tianshang, bio bio zai wa huai. Dmitri joins in, his deep voice blending with hers, and Katya hums along contentedly, her eyes drifting closed. This is their new world, their second chance, their hard-won happily ever after. Not perfect. Dmitri still runs an empire with all its complications. They still have security, still live with the awareness that danger exists. But they have each other. They have love. They have Katya sleeping peacefully in her mother's arms while her father watches over them both with fierce devotion. They have a family forged in fire and sealed with songs and sacrifice. They have home. And that, Sophia thinks as Katya's breathing evens out in sleep, is more than enough. It's everything. 2 years later, Sophia stands in the nursery now shared by Katya and her baby brother, Mikhail, who's sleeping in the crib that once held his sister. Katya, now 4 years old, sits beside her on the floor, carefully holding her baby brother's tiny hand. Mama, can we sing the special song? She asks. Of course, sweetheart. Sophia begins the Mandarin lullaby, and Katya joins in perfectly. Her little voice sweet and true. She knows all the words now, understands what they mean, carries on the tradition that Sophia's grandmother started all those years ago. Dmitri appears in the doorway, home from a meeting, his suit jacket already discarded. He's transitioned more of the business to legitimate operations over the past 2 years, spending less time on the dangerous side of things and more time being present for his family. My girls, he says softly, moving to join them on the floor. And my boy. All together. All together. Sophia agrees, leaning against her husband as Katya cuddles close, and baby Mikhail sleeps peacefully nearby. This is what she fought for. What they all fought for. A family. A home. A love worth every sacrifice. And as Sophia looks at the people surrounding her, her husband, her daughter, her son, she knows with absolute certainty that she would do it all again. Every hard choice. Every tear. Every moment of fear and uncertainty. Because they led her here. Home. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.